Distracted driving is A. Very uncommon. B. Extremely risky behavior. C. Nothing to be concerned about. D. No less safe than driving under any other conditions. B. Extremely risky behavior. Distracted driving is extremely risky behavior that puts not only you and your passengers in danger, but also endangers pedestrians, bicyclists, and other motorists sharing the road. Focused attention on driving helps to prevent crashes. This sign shows one type of A. Right turn. B. Intersection. C. Lane change. D. Road curve. B. Intersection. This sign indicates that a T intersection is ahead. You may be able to identify an aggressive driver by A. Their erratic and improper lane changes. B. The number of passengers in their car. C. Their tendency to drive slowly. A. Their erratic and improper lane changes. While driving, you should remain aware of the actions of surrounding drivers. If you notice an aggressive driver nearby making erratic or improper lane changes, you should not challenge them. The safest way to handle an aggressive driver is to get out of their way. This sign means A. Pedestrians ahead. B. End of construction zone. C. School crossing ahead. D. Flagger ahead. D. Flagger ahead. This sign indicates that there is a flagger ahead controlling traffic in a construction area.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
What is an important step in turning? A. Check traffic in all directions. B. Increase your speed. C. Always move to the left lane. A. Check traffic in all directions. When turning, you should look to the rear and both sides of your vehicle to ensure it is safe to proceed before making the turn. Adjust your speed to safely complete the turn. If you approach a stopped school bus that has its lights flashing and signal arm extended, you should A. Stop. B. Proceed at 15 miles per hour if no children are present. C. Proceed at normal speed, but watch for children. A. Stop. If you approach a stopped school bus that has its lights flashing and arm extended, you must come to a full stop and remain stopped until the signal arm is pulled back and the bus resumes motion. This law applies whether you are traveling in the same direction as the bus or if you are approaching from the opposite side of the street. If you are facing a green traffic light but the intersection ahead is blocked by traffic, you should A. Turn left and find another route. B. Stay out of the intersection until traffic clears. C. Follow the other vehicles and enter the intersection. B. Stay out of the intersection until traffic clears. Even if you are facing a green traffic light, do not start across the intersection if there are other vehicles blocking your way. If you are caught in the intersection when the light changes to red, your vehicle will block cross traffic. You can get a ticket for blocking an intersection. At a school crossing sign, you should A. Always stop, whether there is a stop sign or not. B. Watch for children and be ready to stop. C. Always sound your horn when you see children. B. Watch for children and be ready to stop. Pentagonal signs mean you are approaching a school zone and/or school crossing. When you see these signs, be alert and prepare to stop. On a road which has no sidewalks, a pedestrian should walk on the A side of the road which has the lightest traffic. B same side of the road on which traffic is moving. C side of the road facing oncoming traffic. D side of the road which has the heaviest traffic. C side of the road facing oncoming traffic. Pedestrians should walk on the side of the road facing the traffic in the lane nearest them. When approaching a school bus that is stopped on the opposite side of a divided highway, drivers A may continue driving. B must stop until the school bus begins moving. C must stop until the stop arm is lifted. D must stop and wait for the flashing lights to stop. A may continue driving. When approaching a school bus that is stopped on the opposite side of a divided highway with its lights flashing and its stop arm extended, drivers may continue driving. If the highway is not separated by a median or divider, drivers on both sides of the street must stop. When a car with bright headlights drives toward you at night, you should A. Stop until the other driver passes. B. Look below their headlights. C. Glance toward the right edge of your lane. C. Glance toward the right edge of your lane. To avoid being blinded when driving at night, do not look directly at the headlights of oncoming cars. Instead, look toward the right edge of the road until the oncoming driver has passed. What does this road sign mean? A. Be ready to merge with traffic entering your lane. B. Always stop. C. Divided highway ahead. A. Be ready to merge with traffic entering your lane. Warning signs are usually yellow with black markings. This sign warns that merging traffic will be entering from the right, so drivers should prepare to allow the incoming traffic to safely merge. What is a no zone? A. A designated no passing zone. B. A one-way traffic area. C. The blind spot of a large vehicle. D. An area designated for motor vehicles. C. The blind spot of a large vehicle. No zones are the large blind spots around trucks and other large vehicles. Drivers of smaller vehicles should avoid lingering in no zones. When changing lanes on a highway, you should A. Signal a lane change. B. Check your rearview and outside mirrors. C. Check your blind spot by glancing over your shoulder. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Anytime you want to change lanes, you should properly signal your intentions well in advance, check your mirrors, and check your blind spot. You can check your blind spot by glancing over your shoulder in the direction that you plan to move. This sign means A. One-way traffic. B. Intersection ahead. C. Merging traffic from the right. D. Highway curves ahead. C. Merging traffic from the right. This sign indicates that there is merging traffic entering from the right. Which of these statements is true about drugs and driving? A. Any prescription drug is safe to use if you don't feel drowsy. B. Even over-the-counter drugs can impair your driving. C. Only illegal drugs can impair your driving. It is necessary to use your low beams any time you are A. On a lighted street. B. On a freeway. C. In fog. C. In fog. Use your low beams when driving in fog, snow, rain, or mist. Light from high beams will reflect off of precipitation, causing a glare and making it even more difficult to see. Some vehicles are equipped with fog lights that should be used in addition to low beam headlights. If you are driving on a highway next to a single broken white line marking A. You cannot cross the line to pass. B. You may cross the line to pass and change lanes. C. You may only cross the line to change lanes if you are in the left lane. B. You may cross the line to pass and change lanes. White lines separate lanes of traffic moving in the same direction. You may cross a dashed white line to pass or change lanes if it is safe to do so. This sign means A. No U-turn. B. Two-way left turn. C. Minimum speed limit. D. No parking. A. No U-turn. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. Wherever this regulation sign is posted, U-turns are not permitted. What should you do when you see this sign? A. Look for a train station ahead. B. Signal before going any further. C. Slow down and yield for trains. D. Stop. C. Slow down and yield for trains. This sign indicates that there is a railroad crossing on the road ahead. You should always slow down when approaching a railroad crossing. Trains cannot yield to cars, so you must let them pass before crossing the tracks. This sign means A. Traffic signal. B. Fire station. C. T intersection. D. Left turn signal. A. Traffic signal. Warning signs prepare drivers for upcoming road conditions and hazards and are usually yellow with black markings. This sign alerts drivers to an upcoming traffic signal. They should be prepared to respond to a yellow light, red light, and/or cross traffic. At a crosswalk. A. You must yield to pedestrians. B. Pedestrians must yield to you. C. Construction workers must yield to you. A. You must yield to pedestrians. Pedestrians have the right of way at street crossings but must obey traffic control signals. Where a traffic signal is not present, vehicles must stop for pedestrians in a crosswalk, whether it is marked or unmarked. This sign means A. One-way traffic. B. Divided highway ahead. C. Two-way traffic. D. Keep left. B. Divided highway ahead. Warning signs are usually diamond-shaped with black markings on a yellow background. They alert drivers to upcoming hazards. This warning sign indicates that drivers are about to encounter a divided highway. It is illegal for a vehicle to drive on a sidewalk, except to cross it. A. True. B. False. A. True. Drivers crossing a sidewalk entering or exiting a driveway, alley, or parking lot must yield to pedestrians. It is illegal to drive on a sidewalk, except to cross it. Your license can be suspended if you are under 21 and drive with a blood alcohol level of A. 0.15% or more. B. 0.08% or more. C. Any amount. C. Any amount. There is zero tolerance for alcohol use by drivers under age 21. If you are under 21, the detection of any trace of alcohol in your system will result in stiff penalties, including the suspension of your license for 2 years.